It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Southwest.
Hi everybody, and I want to welcome you into one of the most famous bass fishing lakes in the entire southern half of the United States. Just over my right shoulder is big beautiful Lake Fork, Texas. People come to this lake from all over the world, and they come with very high expectations of catching lots of huge bass, and many of them leave very disappointed. On today's episode, I'm going to give you some tips, some techniques that may help you become successful if you'd like to make a trip to Lake Fork or another highly pressured lake when others aren't. While we're doing that, we're taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from your local lakes, rivers, and bays from our team of insider reporters. The first piece of information I want to give you, though, is that if you come here, you need to set realistic expectations. You're not going to load the boat with big ones every time you come here. Be realistic about what you expect to catch, and if you're not familiar with the lake, you need to hire a fishing guide to show you around, and we'll give you a lot of information on fishing guides on our members only page on our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Let's get the Bass Tracker boat launched into Lake Fork. Let's get you back to the FSN studios for your weekend planner.
The Saloon tables are forecasting tough conditions for your weekend fishing opportunities. The best chances for game fish activity during the day will start at 3 o'clock on Saturday and around 4 on Sunday. The sun will rise at 6:38 and set at 8:10. And look for the moon to be 20% visible in the evenings. Stay with us. We have all your fishing updates from around the Southwest on the way. Plus, I'll return with professional angler Gerald Swindle for the Whataburger Ask the Pro feature. Back in just a bit.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Mercury Marine, celebrating 75 years of marine excellence. By Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability. By Tracker Boats, it's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. And by Fort Worth Nissan. Fox Sports Outdoors is powered by Fort Worth Nissan.
Got one. Oh, he's around a stump. Come loose, baby. Let's just take our time, work him easy. There he came loose. Good fish. That's a good fish right there. Just take our time with him. Play him in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, got him hooked right under the chin. Got him. Look at this. All right. Well, there's a good way to get it started right there. Welcome back, everybody. We're on Lake Fork today on Fox Sports Outdoors. And we got us a bass to get things started. That one hit a little soft jerk bait there. All right, let's give you a look at that one. That's just a good solid early summertime fish right there. We're gonna let it go back right here. And let's get started talking about how you can catch fish on Lake Fork. As I mentioned, Lake Fork is a highly pressured lake. Lots of folks fish here year-round. These fish see a bunch of lures. Here's my #1 tip for you catching fish if you're going to come here, or a lake like this one anywhere in the south. Stop running around. Fish are everywhere on this lake. There is nowhere you can go in this lake that you can't catch fish just like that one. Every creek, every point, every ledge, every place you can go, these fish are everywhere on this lake. So what you need to do is pick you 2 or 3 areas that you're going to stay all day long and concentrate on those areas. Find the fish, fish it thoroughly, figure out what the fish are doing, maybe a half-mile long stretch of something, whatever they're doing that time of the year, and stay put and figure it out, and you'll do much better. That's my #1 key to fishing Lake Fork or a lake like this one. Hey, let's get you started with some fishing reports here. Let's check in Southwest with Cajun Phil and Kevin in Louisiana.
Telling you what, things are finally starting to pick up a little bit, although they are still a little slower than normal here on Calcasieu Lake. Starting to see some good catches of trout, some nice catches of redfish. Got a little live bait action on the live shrimp under a popping cord. Some redfish at the Gulf jetties and a few redfish showing up in the marsh on Johnson Gold Spoon. Talked to Towfield Bourgeois down in the Lafitte area. He's also reporting some pretty good catches of redfish right there around Lafitte, taking his float plane down to the chandeliers and starting to do pretty good on trout. Right now, we're going to turn it over to old Cajun Phil and let him talk to you about some bass fishing.
Thanks, Captain Kevin. Hi friends, Cajun Phil here, talking to you a little bit about what's going on bass fishing here around the state of Louisiana. Let's talk about the Falls River first of all. We got a lot of reports from some of our Baton Rouge anglers that's been to Falls River. They said, Cajun, right now we're catching most of our bass either on the north end or the south end. There's a little bit of grass on both ends. He said as far as the middle of the lake, best bet right now is to fish the boat docks. They're throwing small strike pro crankbaits, ones that runs about 2 foot deep, and they're catching them right under the docks. Especially during the heat of the day, whenever the sun comes up, those bass get underneath the docks and throwing crankbaits. They actually bend the lip in a little bit to where they got a left-handed and a right-handed crankbait. Something pretty neat to do. You throw down there and it comes around the dock, comes around the dock, comes around the dock, and the bass are nailed it. Whenever they go to the other side, they throw the one with the other lip. It's kind of a cool idea. They also catching a few bass, those spitter baits. In the middle of the lake, they said there's some stripers hitting right now. They're hitting on any type of lipless, crankbait, something like a rattle trap or a flapjack by Strike Pro.
Got him. Wow, what an acrobat. Not a giant fish by any stretch, but a good solid Lake Fork bass right there. All right, well, we've got some fish going and that one's got it kind of in his tongue, so I'm gonna have to do a little surgery on that one. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Hey, I want to tell you, I love my Bass Tracker Pro Team 175. I've probably mentioned that before, but I've got a video up online that I want you to see. All you do is go to our website, click on the YouTube logo, that takes you to our YouTube channel, and look at the how-to videos and find our Bass Tracker Pro Team 175 video. It's all the great reasons why you're going to love this boat. Stay with us. Back to Lake Fork in just a moment. Watch this, he's swimming with it, swimming. Got him. Coming down the line. Up, big fish. Big one. Look at this dude. Got him. There's a toad right there. Wow. Look at that big pig. And I don't have a scale, that's easy 10-pound plus bass right there. That one hit a lizard, plastic Buffalo lizard by Gene LaRue. Show you all the baits a little bit later. But how about that? There is a Lake Fork pig, and that's what can happen when you come here and you're patient. All right, welcome back everybody. You're on Fox Sports Outdoors today, and talking about how to fish a lake like this that gets so much pressure. Lake Fork just gets beat to death. Right quick, we're gonna go ahead and put this fish back right here. Let's let that big dude go back. Oh, that's fun. Let's give your next key pointer on catching fish on this lake, and that is find a less obvious, less pressured, less likely spot to fish. You don't want to just pull in on the same shoreline that everybody else is fishing, get in line and fish for the same fish that see one lure after the next. You want to find your little out of the way spot that's a little different. Okay, look here. I'm off the shore and you can see right behind me, this is a long tree row through here and it's about 10 feet of water or so. That's a likely spot. Look for the little points on that tree row, the little cuts in, the places where maybe a dock comes out and meets that tree row. Those are the kind of migration routes where you'll find bass, and that one was right on the end of a little point right off this little tree row right here. That's a perfect looking spot. Let's check in with Brian Hughes in Texas Freshwater, followed by Bill Olson on the coast.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Decked, the most innovative truck bed storage system to come along in years. Remember, work smarter, play harder. Now this week, we're on Lake Belton, just west of Temple, Texas. And Belton, like many of our other Texas lakes, is showing the effects of our drought. The lake is quite low, and many of the things you would normally be fishing are now out on the bank, high and dry. So, you need to go to those rocky sloping points that go from the shallow water down into the deep. Start your day with a top water. Use a Zara spook, a popar, or a buzzbait in your white natural shad type colors. Then transition to Bass Assassins and Cincos. When you find stained or muddy water, use your methylates and bubblegums. When you see the clear water, go with those natural colors like your watermelons and pumpkins. And finally, deep diving crankbaits. Get a selection that'll go from 5 to 15 to even 20 feet of water and use crawfish colors and or your natural shads. That's been this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Decked. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. You'll find him on the coast.
Hi folks, Texas Outdoors Journal brings you this week's report and has once again been named the best major outdoor magazine in Texas. If you fish and hunt in Texas, you should be reading Texas Outdoors Journal. We'll tell you where to go, what to expect once you get there, and how to do it a little bit better. Pick up a copy of Texas Outdoors Journal on newsstands or subscribe at the website on the screen. Well, as we begin the month of May, weather and water temperatures continue to warm. However, temperatures are still running a few weeks behind where they normally would be this time of year. Regardless of that fact, fishing is improving and the wind is becoming less of a menacing factor. Out of Port Isabel and along the mid-coast from Port Aransas to Port O'Connor, anglers are seeing an improved topwater bite. Whether wade fishing back lakes or drifting shallow flats and shorelines, trout and redfish are hitting a variety of topwater lures. On days when fish are just slapping at baits, a Strike Pro Hunchback has produced. Now Longbar, Mexicana Flats, and South Bay continue to provide solid action for lower coast anglers. From Allen's Bight to Paul's Mott and around Dagger and Stebbin Islands, in water 5 feet to the shoreline, have produced on the mid-coast. On Sabine Lake, increased bird activity has pointed anglers to trout on the middle and south end of the lake. Live shrimp or voodoo shrimp under a rattling float have all caught fish. Galveston's East Bay continues to provide solid specs to those wading the south shoreline. East Bay's deeper reefs are also starting to produce on light wind days. Anglers wading east Matagorda to south shoreline have caught some nice trout. Those drifting east reefs have caught trout, reds, and drum. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a single tide schedule of 1 high and 1 low tide each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. By Luz, setting a new standard in fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Strike King Lures, #1 in fishing. By Lowrance Electronics, find, navigate, dominate. And by Whataburger, get your day started at Whataburger with the new jalapeno cheddar biscuit.
Look at this. No giant, but just a good, solid slot type fish right there. Hey, welcome back everybody. There is a Lake Fork bass for you. Caught that one on a biffle bug. Hey, glad to have you along today as we're just giving you some tips and pointers on how you can come to a lake like Lake Fork that gets so much fishing pressure, so many folks fishing it, these fish see so many baits, and how you can still have a chance to catch some fish. These fish see so many spinner baits going across their heads, crank baits, top waters, those kind of things, moving baits, that they really kind of get lulled into just sitting there. So what you've got to do is either put a Texas rig, a drop shot rig, a Carolina rig, or a weightless rig. One of those 4 types of rigs with a soft plastic bait, and I'll show you a variety of those baits on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff at the end of the show. But just in a creek channel here in front of me, there's a little ditch that winds down through there and then goes out off that little point. And I'm just fishing real slow, and I'm flipping and pitching to all these trees and stumps along this little creek channel, and a good solid fish bit right there. So slow down, use all kinds of soft plastics, be very patient, try to make a fish bite if you're gonna fish highly pressured fish like they are here at Lake Fork. Let's get you some more fishing reports. Let's go to Oklahoma. Here's Gary Dolliver.
Okay, crappie fishermen, it finally got here. The crappie are biting all across the state. Good reports coming in from everywhere. The fish are shallow. I'm talking 4 feet and less, males and females. So whether you're fishing from docks like these, you're fishing from the bank, you're fishing from a boat, now's the time to go crappie fishing. That's exactly what 4-year-old Josh Shambles told his pawpaw Red Miller of Bartlesville, so off they go to Copan. They took along with them their good friend Chris Lindenberg. They had a great outing fishing the shallow creeks off of Copan, had their best luck fishing cover in the middle of the creeks, more so than along the edges of the creeks. Started out throwing slab slayers and bumblebee color, did even better when they switched over to strollers and lights out color. They said the stroller with that big tail had a slower fall and that light jig head, the fish seemed to like that better. Josh, great job for showing those guys how to catch those fish. Now, professional bass angler Tommy Biffle loves to crappie fish. He went down to Lake Eufaula, fished the lower end of the lake. He said there's still a lot of color to the water down there, fished extremely shallow to catch their fish, and he's talking 6 to 8 inches deep. Of course, he loves the shallow fish anyway, but he said those fish were coming out of whatever little pieces of cover they could find in that shallowest water. Good reports coming in from everywhere. If you're fishing from the bank, don't be afraid to tie a crappie jig on underneath the float, about 12 to 14 inches deep. Cast it parallel to the bank and slowly reel it back in along that bank. You're going to catch crappie doing that at this time. Great time of year to be crappie fishing in Oklahoma, but one thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Hey, I'm really excited about a brand new piece of equipment that I've got on my boat today for the very first time. Now, we've had the Lowrance Elite 7 units around for a little while now. They're the units that will split the screen 3 ways and show you chart, 2D sonar, and downscan 3D imaging all on the same screen. Well, now Lowrance has introduced 2D Chirp Sonar on their Elite 7 units. This is a dramatically improved 2D sonar over anything we've ever had in the past. The key words are target separation. It will separate fish from bait fish. It will separate fish from the bottom, and it will separate fish from cover or structure. So you can actually tell what's a fish, what's bait, what structure better than you ever could before. And you can do it all without pulling the sensitivity up and increasing the clutter on the screen. And maybe the best news of all, it will fit with your old Lowrance HDI transducer, so you do not have to buy an upgraded transducer to run the brand new Lowrance Elite 7 Chirp Sonar units. We don't have time to tell you all about them right here, but go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. We've put up a couple of links to some videos that will demonstrate in much more detail the brand new Lowrance Elite 7 Chirp, C-H-I-R-P sonar units. Go check it out right now, and we'll be back to Lake Fork, Texas.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. By Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Welcome to the big leagues.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Waterburger Ask the Pro, where viewers can get insider tips from professional anglers. This week's question comes from Paul, who writes, I fish mostly in murky water. Does crankbait color really make a difference, or should I concentrate on size, noise, and color shades? For the answer, we checked with professional angler Gerald Swindle.
You know, when you talk about fishing crankbaits in muddy water, what plays variables, what do I look for? Naturally, I'm going to look for brighter colors. The less visibility, the brighter the color. The reds, the chartreuse, the blacks, those are going to be the 3 that I fall back on. Then sound variation just depends. If it's a heavily pressured lake, I don't throw a lot of rattling baits. That means if I know 15 people's fished in front of me, I'm not going to throw a bait that makes a lot of noise. So remember that in dirty water, if it's less pressure, throw something that rattles. If not, worry about the color. Stick something brighter, it's always better.
Thanks, Gerald. If you need help from one of the pros, visit our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now let's see who wins a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
This week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest is Brandon Keck of New Orleans, Louisiana, showing off a 50-pound black drum he caught out of the Louisiana marsh sight casting with a fly rod. If you'd like to enter our contest and have a chance to win a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses of your very own, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. On the right side of the front page, click on the Costa Catch of the Week box, follow the instructions, Send us your big fish photo and you could be our next winner. To see all of the Costa frame and lens styles, simply go back to the front page of our website, click on the Costa logo, and you go straight to their website. And there you can see all of their frame and lens styles, including the frame style that I was wearing on this week's episode called Tuna Alley. Next up on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, it's the right gear to catch bass like we caught today on Lake Fork or any other highly pressured lake in your area. I'll show you 3 of those, beginning with the simple Texas rig. It begins with a sliding bullet-shaped weight, free sliding on your line, and then about a 3 or 4/0 offset worm hook. And then we Texas rig today with a Jean LaRue Biffle O Lizard, and that's what we caught that big 10-pounder on. Now, the next one is basically the same thing as a Texas rig, but it's weightless. There is no weight at all on the line, a little larger hook, about a 5/0 hook, stuck completely through the bait, and that's a Jean LaRue salt flicker, and then we skin hook it out the other side, and that makes it weedless. And finally, we did not use this one today, but this is the drop shot rig, and it begins with a special drop shot hook. We tie it on, we stick the tag end of the line through the second loop of the hook, or the second eye of the hook, and then about 18 inches below that is a special Strike King tungsten drop shot weight. I have one of the strangest phenomenons that happens to me about 98 out of every 100 times that I pull in to fuel up at a gas station or convenience store. So I swipe my card, I fill up the truck with gas, I press the receipt button, and then the inevitable happens. Receipt fail, or see cashier for receipt. I promise you it happens to me almost every time I fill up, and I can't talk to anybody else that happens to. Now, here's the moral of the story. That's a little thing. I could let that get under my skin. I could go in and chew somebody out, tear somebody's head off, be unkind, tell them they need to keep receipt paper in their gas pumps, or just let it roll off my back, not let Satan get to me, and not become frustrated and unkind. That's my recommendation. Hey, keep the little things in life, the little things. Smile, let it roll off, go on down the road, be kind, be happy. You'll be a much more peaceful and content person because of it. Keep the little things, the little things. Hey, I hope you enjoyed our trip to beautiful Lake Fork in East Texas today. Hey, don't be fooled. It was a difficult day. Between me and Monty the cameraman, we only got about 8 or 9 bites all day long. But as you saw, some of those, including that big 10-pound plus largemouth, were the right bites. That's a typical day here on Lake Fork and many other lakes across the South that get the kind of pressure that Lake Fork does. Hey, don't forget to join us for next week's show. We'll be on at 10:30 Thursday night with the repeat airing at 7:30 Saturday morning. And if those times ever change, you'll be the first to know right on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Till next week from Lake Fork, Texas, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.